Hi, Ian Roberts, Mastering Composition and the Laboratory of the Painting Process. I'm not sure whether you're getting time these days to step back a bit and reflect or not, but I thought I'd look at the idea of inspiration. And it comes from the root spiritus, and it relates obviously to spirit or a calling. What are we pulled to? But also, what do we do with it? There's a line in Shakespeare's Timon of Athens, "The fire i' the flint shows not till it be struck," meaning inspiration needs to be used. And so there's a great quote by Brenda Ueland in her book, If You Want to Write. How do we keep inspiration alive? By using it, by letting it out, by giving it some time. But if we are women, we think it is more important to wipe noses and carry doilies than to write or play piano. And men spend their lives adding and subtracting and dictating letters when they secretly long to write sonnets, play violin, and burst into tears at the sunset. Next week I got a special announcement just sort of about this, keeping inspiration alive and giving some time to it. By the way, please subscribe here, and if you're not currently getting these videos on your inbox each Tuesday, you can click on the link down below. A number of viewers asked me, well, that big painting, the big block in I did, how did it look finished? And so I'll have a look at that today and what I'm planning to work on next. So I'll see you at the end. Here's the original image that I worked from. There's the sketch I made, just thinking of the big shapes and the structure of moving us back over to here and then back to here. Then there's the block in, just the big simple shapes. And those big simple shapes worked, and I just painted them in pretty much the colors I wanted them. Very loosely painted and needing some added information, but basically the structure of the painting was sound. So you can see that I've started painting in here, sort of giving it some definition. I started defining the structure and the shapes of these. You can't see it now, but this is much more sort of purple than just a brown color. And I'm starting to bring some interest into this whole arena here. And so there's the finished painting. I loved the big simple masses bringing us over to here and then running us back to here, and then we come back into this part. There's a little bit of glare here that's interfering. It sort of looks like that there. But you can see I've added interest here, but it's very simple on this side, and I'm pulling us this way and then back up into here. So structurally, I'd say it's doing this. We're coming to here, we're coming back to our look at the olive trees here, and then back into the background. So I wanted to show you what I'm working on next. This is a little village in Provence where I first started teaching the workshops in France. And I'm going for a walk in the morning, early light. I love this sort of light in the early morning, but I don't sort of like a thing hanging out the side here. I'm not sure, but it's interesting. It certainly caught my attention. I come forward and now we see the whole village and the valley in the background. And then I go. The next picture is taken right here. You'll see this bush in the foreground. Now I'm looking at it and thinking, oh, I love the entrance. I love these lights coming through here. And now the structure of all this coming all the way along back into there, this is getting really interesting to me. So this is what I've decided to do a painting of. So if we go a little further on the road, you realize, no, we don't have the valley. It's sort of running, it's all broken up now. We don't really like it. So it was really kind of that sweet spot right there. So I did a quick sketch of it, trying to get the big picture of what I'd want to have happen and where we'd go. And I realized it's kind of dead up here. Lots of nice things going on here, but kind of dead in the top bit. So I pulled, you can actually see the line where it was there, and I added this up here. and this was down here before. I added this higher and raised this up in front of it. So now we're getting this entrance and we're getting pulled up to here more dramatically. And so the whole picture plane, like the 4 lines of the picture of the composition, those 4 being the most important, now we're starting to engage the top part of the painting more thoroughly. So then I did a more finished sketch, and I think I'm going to do a painting of this. The one thing that I noticed when I put it in here is that this line, if you look at it, runs along here. That's fine in itself, but it starts to parallel this one. You see how it's the same width here to here to here? And that I don't like. So I'm going to probably do something with that line here so that doesn't happen. The other thing is I'm going to be painting most of this painting in the shadows, all the darks, and then adding the lights to it. So I might not do a block in of this because it's going to look just kind of dark, really. But I will take a few photographs of it as it progresses and show you later. I mean, assuming it turns out. So in the interest of inspiration, I'm providing 2 images this week. This one, you can stop the video or drag it off to your desktop, I think. And this one. Both of them have good structure. I like these big simple areas against the complex areas up in here. They both have good structure. And so if either of them feel like they'd be interesting and engaging to use this week, please feel free to use them. Well, all things considered, I do hope you have a great week. Give yourself some time to paint or draw or write. And if either of these images spark something to engage you, I'd be delighted. So I'll see you next Tuesday. Stay strong, stay safe. Bye for now. I'll see you next week.